Hey y'all, this is Mike,
And this is Paxton.
and welcome to the Mad LiberTEA Party, where up is down, left is right, the rum is always gone, and the world is full of clowns.
If you feel like the world's gone mad, then pull up a chair and we'll throw you a teacup, because we're all mad here.
Heck yeah, we are. And sometimes we take things a bit too far. Sometimes the things that we think are super duper fun, they get you wrapped up and all turned around and topsy turvy up there.
hmm
Um,
Uh, I've made videos in the past through Paxton Sips on uh, addiction and things of that nature, and that's kind of what we'll be talking about today. Uh, Recently, we released a video alongside this talking about roleplay, and today we're going to be talking to you guys about the downsides of it, essentially, and online gaming or gaming in general.
or at least as they relate to our experiences with them.
Right.
Obviously our run-ins with it are going to be a little different than everybody else's, but there are a few things that I think that we can share some opinions on, I hope. Oh, or
Mhm.
maybe not. It might be nice if you haven't actually experienced some of the things we're going to talk about today. um,
And if you have, or if you maybe have that epiphany moment where, maybe you are considering that you are taking it too far, feel free to reach out to us. We do really mean that. Join our Discord or message us, leave a comment. And,
Come talk
we
to us,
would love
man.
to talk to you. We both have had these experiences. So, if you feel a familiarity to that, then, here we are. We want to talk to you. We want to help you. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, that being said, if you like our video, please like, share, comment. It really does help us out a lot. Um, and if you don't like our video, please fuck off.
Well, should we start with the little bads before we get to the real big one that always tears us all down? Well, that ends up tearing us all down so bad. I mean, like, there are some simple cons, like that it takes a lot of time. Um,
Yeah,
you
I
have
mean, we
to
can start there.
you have to invest a certain amount of time into role playing, and if you don't have time, then you can't do it.
But, well, let me just emphasize on that, saying to get into the state that you were in, that we were both in, you have to
Yeah,
be a mover and shaker, essentially. You have to be somebody that wants to get shit done. You have to be a perfectionist, and that's the thing. Is Mike and I are always wanting to achieve things. A
right.
lot of our friends that were in similar circles were wanting to achieve things, and we throw 100% in whatever we are doing. That includes video
Yeah,
games. Um, that being said, like Mike mentioned, that starts taking a lot of time. In fact, I started this, I think I was about 13 or 14 years old. And once it got to a certain point where, I had a lot of people working with me and I was DMing or being a guild master, I felt a certain amount of responsibility and therefore time dedication that I needed to give up to make sure that I was hitting the needs of my friends in the video game. And that takes a lot of time. It was getting to the point where I was writing out stories and stuff, making plans for the game in class and stuff. Rather than doing my homework, I was doing game stuff.
yeah, it's very easy to let yourself get distracted by something like that because you
Mm,
enjoy it. um, Otherwise you wouldn't be doing it. uh,
hmm
and like, it's not just time that it takes from you, it can be very energy absorbing, like,
hmm
especially if you get like
Emotionally
me.
draining.
Yeah, it's very emotionally draining at times because there are people who don't understand that you're just playing pretend, and there are
hmm
people who don't understand that you're a person behind the character and you have to do things and stuff. And if you're like me, you invest in the community a lot. And so,
hmm
like, not only was I role playing, but I was also playing therapist to half the server, like, not half the server, but I was playing therapist to a lot of people all at once. And I'm not even
That's a
licensed.
that's a big thing in the roleplay community, or even online gaming in general. Is a lot of people are there because they can't, or they can't do things in real life, or maybe they just don't have the person. Maybe they're an introvert essentially, and they get their social interaction online. And everybody, we're all human. We all have problems, and whenever the main point of the video game is socializing, you end up making a lot of friends with people, and as friends tend to do, they tend to vent to one another. And so there you are, listening to people's stories. And I'm sure Mike can attest to this, that we've heard all kinds of just horrendous life stories from people, like fucked up things.
Am I
Whether
allowed
they
to
were
say
true
one
or
of
not,
them?
I wouldn't, but
They don't. I don't even know them anymore. But like, it has been weird. People come and ask you the weirdest shit from roleplay. Like,
mhm.
I'm not gonna go that far. I'm not gonna mention it. You can get it on our subscribe star.
Right. But there's just straight up some people with mental disorders on there. There's pedophiles and things of that nature that are on there. I've had people show up at my house whenever I was underage that flew across the country to see me after I did not give them any information about who I was, and we hardly ever interacted. There's a lot of crazy people out there. And
Yeah, I was
MMOs
having
and
to chase
online games in
those
general.
hungry housewives away from my boys all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. You have to think about the community. One thing that I always told people that were kind of like my proteges in there, or my social team on there, is I always told them to just treat everybody as if they are very mentally disturbed, because that's the safest way of going about things. And even now, that's what I tell people that are doing social things, because we need one. It kind of puts you on a means of treating everyone with respect. First of all, nobody's trying to be disrespectful to people with any kind of mental disabilities or anything. But two, it just makes it to where you're a little more defensive. You're not about to like throw all your information out there or take a jab at somebody. So it just overall adds to a little bit of politeness.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of crazy people out there. A lot of fucked things have happened, and so you end up hearing all these emotional stories, and you end up being a story writer, a therapist, and just investing a lot of time. And like Mike said, it's emotionally draining. And granted, I don't have emotions or anything, but the responsibility feeling of it was the biggest thing for me, and that I felt responsible. Like, if I did not get online at the time that I said I would be online to do the story and stuff, I would get like super upset with myself and depressed and all these things, because I felt like I let these people down.
Yeah.
There was an emotional attachment to that. That I felt like these people, a lot of them had, messed up stories. We were all friends, so I heard most of their background stories, and they decided to choose their free time. Their enjoyment was coming online and having a game with me and letting me create these stories with these guys. So I felt very bad whenever I was not able to give them that fun, essentially, that free time.
Yeah. It's too bad in the end, most of them didn't return the favor. But we'll get into that later. It's very easy, like leading into the main point of this, it's very easy to let yourself lose track of the time, let yourself lose track of your spoons / energy, what you've got to give. It's very easy to fall into it for distraction too. Like, I need to build communities. I need to feel like I'm making a difference. Otherwise, I feel like shit. Like, it affects my mental health, and I was drawn into gaming and became lost in it because I created a community outside like an out of character community. And I think I was really addicted. I was actually addicted in a way to taking care of these people, to building this community that was hidden away from the world. It made me feel like I was making a difference. It made me feel like I was doing something good. And I was making a difference with these people and I was helping them, but I was hiding from the real world and what was really going on. By the time I looked up, half the nation was in Trump derangement syndrome, and I was trying to figure out why everyone was screaming Nazi at each other. Like, I lost so much, and it felt fulfilling, but it was a fake fulfillment. Kind of like those people who let their kid die while they raised a baby playing video games,
That's I definitely agree, and that's the addiction part of it. Is I was 14, and the next thing I know, I wake up and I'm 21, 22, And this whole time, I'm feeling like I'm being successful. I'm accomplishing things. I'm getting things done. There's people looking up to me. I've changed people's lives. There's people that like me. I'm a mover and a shaker. And then you realize this is all online. This has actually done nothing. You might have actually affected somebody's life. Sure, potentially. You don't know.
And I mean, there are
But you
ways to
don't
make
actually change anything physically.
Yeah, and there's ways to make a difference online, but being sequestered away like that, hidden in our community, there wasn't really.
But like Mike said, yeah, I woke up one day and I just realized, I had wasted all this time. That's the part of the addiction, is it hits all the dopamine things that you're wanting, and you don't realize that you're actually throwing a lot of energy and time at something that isn't making that big of a difference.
Yeah.
If at all.
And if you're lucky, something will come around and slap you in the face and make you look around and see what the hell you're doing. But not everybody has that liberty. Not everybody gets that miracle.
Yeah.
I was lucky. I mean, I don't know. I think it was inevitable that I woke up out of it and stepped away. But I don't know how long it could have gone. It could have gone on for a long time.
Yeah, no, you kind of know the moments, the personal moments in my life that all happened in a very short period of time, and it was at those moments that I really decided to change things, and I had to like re-examine and reshape all of my things. And it's unfortunate that sometimes that's what it takes. That we need a slap in the face to kind of wake up and realize what's going on around us.
Yeah.
The thing to take away from that, I would say, is negativity isn't necessarily always a bad thing. Sometimes we need it.
Right.
Sometimes it gives us perspective.
Yeah.
The bad things that happen can cause us growth. It's how I've always described it to people. It's like working out. You're going to feel pain. You're going to be tired while you're working out, but your muscles are going to get bigger.
Yeah.
You need that.
Not to make another gamer reference, but sometimes it's good to remember and get off the joy.
Yep.
Did you have anything else you wanted to add there? Or, I mean, like, aside from, obviously, if you think that you're having a hard time here and that you might be addicted to something, anything, even, not gaming, and you need people to talk about, if you want to share your story, if you want advice, if you want just somebody to hang out with who's not doing that, give us reach out to us in our DMs, leave us a comment, come get into our Discord. Join our discussion, become part of a community that's trying to get offline and into the streets. Let's do something that really matters. Let's wake up. Let's wake up together.
Yeah. This isn't Tinder, Mike. I'm not waking up next to you.
Wake up together. Are you sure? I mean, come on. We're pretty close. I don't know, your girlfriend might be mad. Wouldn't that be awkward? I'm all like, I snore too, I think. Anyways, you guys take care, be safe, be free. This Mad LiberTEA break is adjourned. Don't smoke any D20s out there, y'all.